Hey everybody, it's Master Gallengeist here, bringing you my review of the movie Masters of the Universe 2026. And I watched this on Prime Video. Let me see. I did not like this movie whatsoever. If anybody is like, I could understand if you like this. However, I would pretty much put this as the prime example of what people would call like the marvelization of certain kind of shit. And I kind of understand what they're talking about, where the corporate model goes in, overrides, and does stupid ass shit. However, in most Marvel movies, it at least has enough to kind of at least give the characters a little bit of oomph in the best kind of circumstances, while never getting to this level of being a complete focus-tested toy selling vehicle. Now, I understand that most cartoons from the time period that we are pretty much mining were utilized pretty much as toy commercials with plots and shit kind of just thrown in because the creatives could get away with it because the execs are like, print that money with them toys, motherfuckers. Like, alright, let's do a little bit of this. This movie is made essentially in any kind of fan service, nostalgia kind of callback kind of point to be like, ooh, look at this, like the what's going on kind of song because of the meme. That's literally it. So you can be like, oh yeah. And it's like, okay, give me money on that. It's like, but you just didn't do shit with it. I mean, it doesn't reach the level of doing almost what I would say negative opposite kind of like fan service where it's like, this is Jill's sandwich. That is my prime example of like, you're literally just taking the words and just throwing them in and being like, yeah, people will get it. It's like, yeah, but it's not in the same kind of context. Because Barry's like, it's a Barry dad joke. This, it's just going on like, Adam doesn't know what's going on. It's like, yeah, okay. And you would think that Jared Leto, like, I know he's hit or miss, and now we've got even stuff of him, like, doing, like, sexual kind of shit. It's just like, well, if this hadn't flopped, that would have, like, cracked out. I mean, you definitely have Skeletor done in the same kind of vein as the cartoon show. It's like, oh, okay, so they did the balancing act on that pretty right, but if all else fails, just get Tom Christie from YouTube to do his Skeletor shit. I mean, that was every video he ever did, where he's even just talking about Destiny. Or, like, video games in general of Skeletor doing, like, what the fuck is this kind of shit, was better than this. It's 2 hours and, like, 20 minutes. And it is fucked up. Like, I swear to God, you could focus test this shit, and it's like, okay, we want manly muscles for the people that are into that kind of masculinity. However, we then also want to have the spit in here about, like, how that's toxic and doesn't work, even though at the end of the day, the way that's the whole thing is won is by utilizing big muscles and punching, even though we're going to have Orko come at the end and say that, like, hey, this is how we did for the moral of the story. It's like, you literally have no message and you're just shoving shit in here so that maybe there's a pattern recognition that people don't have to fight the cognitive dissonance of being like, you're saying this and doing it in the stupidest fucking way possible and then through your actions showing this, that this fucking worked. What do you want from me? Because we're shown Eternia, and we kind of get a little bit of how it kind of works. Eternos, the capital city, we got Adam sparring with Teela and everything like that. We see that he is not one for fighting. He just kind of plays and kind of goofs around. Duncan, the man-at-arms, is trying to get him put up. Idris Elba, he can't, like, he is given shit. And I swear to God, the whole kind of drunk shtick, yes, I know that's part of a character that's kind of going on here, but I would almost pretty much say that he wanted that from the get-go to be to act as unaffected as possible and do stupid shit so that way he actually didn't have to do anything with this because there's god fucking nothing you can do. So we get his dad pretty much berating him and being like, oh, you need to be stronger, blah, blah, blah. Fighting him with real fucking swords. I'm like, that kid can't even reach your waist. Good luck with that. And pretty much we see that Duncan's trying to give him a pep talk. He's like, oh, he's going to turn around. He's going to turn around. And he doesn't. And it's like, okay, he's the stern asshole father. And then, of course, the 15 years is like, oh, I should have just let you be you. It's like, yeah, you think? So Skeletor's forces attack. We see that Duncan tries to help, but he gets cracked off by Jaw Dude. Jaw. But T was able to kind of help him out and everything like that. We see that they go to Castle Grayskull because, of course, Skeletor wants to be God and master of the universe, and he wants the power of Grayskull and the sword of power and all that stuff. So Deadpool's girlfriend, the sorceress, is like, hey, Adam, take this sword. It'll bring you back home. Go into the fucking hole portal thingy. I mean, the father's already been captured at this point. And the mother gets, like, thunder blasted by, like, Skeletor and all that kind of shit. Alison Breeze in this is, like, evil Lynn. It's like, alright, fine. So he gets there, and the way this is being expositioned is that he is actually telling this to a date person. Like, oh, because he gets, like, dropped. He accidentally loses grip on the sword because he's, like, a fucking 10-year-old. Where the sword weighs more than his ass. And he's on Earth, and he's telling his date this. I'm like, I would almost rather him just explaining this shit on YouTube style in a video rather than this. It's like, alright. And evidently he's got all these drawings and everything like that. He tried to do historical figures like this in school. It's like, alright. The dude's like, yeah, you alright? Alright, do your shit. So he has still been, like, looking for this sword, and he's working in a human resources company. And, of course, it's trying to make human resources look like pretty much an ineffectual part of, like, corporate functions. Now, human resources has done a lot of fucking stupid shit. Alright. It deserves that kind of reputation. But this is just like, alright, because he's looking at swords and trying to find them. However, it's mainly just trying to find. It's like, alright, the thing is, it's talking about, like, hey, you should talk and everything like that to kind of get the idea of what's going on. However, it is done and presented in the most ham-fisted, dumbest fucking way possible to make that option completely and utterly unappealing. That's pretty much the objective as they're trying to talk through this. It's like, okay, he's not really going that in depth of, like, why he's looking for this sword. It's making this other dude kind of uncomfortable. It's like, alright. And then, of course, he's able to find the sword, goes to this place. It's part of this statue thing. He gets it off. And he's, like, bucks out. And, of course, this is where everything starts going kind of nutty. We see Beastman. He gets arrested for it. And we see that Beastman pops up trying to get it. Tilo pops up to save his ass because a signal had come up. And they just have their kind of chase sequence where Beastman also gets hit by an Amazon truck because Amazon is part of this motherfucking thing. And, yep. So they pretty much fly off. He kind of gets a lowdown of what's going on. Eternos is pretty much fucked over. Duncan's drunk. Let's see. He tells them all their nicknames, which is kind of like making it seem like the most stupid fucking thing possible. Like, it's not even kind of tongue in cheek. Okay, you saw I did, like, Mortal Kombat. This is like people completely shitting on this IP in the same movie that you're trying to get people to buy into the IP. We also had a Dolph Lundgren cameo in this because he played He-Man in the 1980s version of Masters of the Universe. And I almost think that that movie is somewhat better than this. However, that's not an exact high bar to kind of clear on this. I'm not saying it's a very good movie. I'm just saying it's kind of better than this one. Because he's like, oh, you gotta, like, come from the back or something like that. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Whatever. And everybody's like, are you sure this is Adam? Let's check out if this sword is actually the sword of power and all that kind of shit. And then, of course, they get thrown into a cell where we see, like, this BattleBot thing. Roboto that's been reprogrammed as a servant because Duncan was really under the impression that that motherfucker was going to try and kill him, and that they're like, no, 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 fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. It's like, all right. So then Skeletor's forces are able to find and because let's see, what's his name? Cyclopsy ass motherfucker. And they're kind of like bucking through, do a chase sequence thing, and then Adam is showcased to be a stupid motherfucker, how it's presented, and trying to talk with the trap jaw motherfucker, but of course he just starts fighting, and he is able to unlock the power of Grayskull, then starts like fighting his ass, and it's an interesting kind of fight scene, but I mean, the action scenes are just kind of perfunctory here. It's more like they understood it needed to be done. And you really kind of fucking see that towards the end with He-Man's final confrontation with Skeletor. There's no weight. There's no understanding that action delivers character as well. It's just, oh, it's He-Man. Have him punch and shit. It's like, alright. That doesn't showcase anything, but fucking go for it because they just think that action is dumb spectacle. No. Mortal Kombat. Fucking, which action is baked into it, understands how it communicates character, how you utilize your techniques, when you utilize your techniques, how you take down a motherfucker. It conveys character. That doesn't happen here. It's just like, oh, this is cool. And go for it. It's like, alright, fine. So they're able to pretty much take his ass out and are able to escape, and Skeletor's trying to figure out who this is and what's kind of going on, and they're like, alright, fine. Killing a dude, blasting him out, before the rest of the captured kind of resistance forces are like, it's Adam, it's He-Man. Well, he doesn't get to be called He-Man until the end, and everyone's like, oh, alright. We also got to look at Cringer, but like we saw little baby one, and then we get him at the end. And we also get a look at the end of Princess Adora, but I don't remember seeing that, but okay. Let's see. So then we pretty much have a chase sequence as the other ones are kind of going for it. It just, we see Duncan trying to like not be a drunk dude motherfucker, and Adam trying to utilize his powers and doing kind of like shit, but it's just a chase sequence because it looks cool. So then they kind of crash down to try and figure out kind of their next kind of moves. Tila being like, hey, you're my friend. It's like, oh, we're going to do this awkward kind of song and dance. And I don't mind that. It's just the execution. What people probably are like hitting with like, oh, we got this joke, Marvel joke, action here. This, it's telegraphed out like the wazoo. It's like, oh, okay, here, okay, we're gonna Ross and Rachel this shit until pretty much the end because we gotta have, oh, they're friends, but they could be more. It's like, oh, it's like, fuck it, whatever. You definitely see a paint by the numbers, color inside the lines kind of thing here. Um, So Skeletor's pretty much, yo, dude, your parents are alive and I got them, so bring me that shit, bitch. It's like, alright, so they literally just hike on there. We even get, like, B-roll footage and then, like, going through and everything. He's like, yeah, take me to Skeletor, motherfucker. It's like, alright, fine. So they kind of, like, lock up the rest of them. And we see him kind of go there. It's like, give me the sword, man. It's like, no. And then just kind of starts fighting him. And we get this, like, giant action sequence of what's kind of going on before He-Man accidentally pretty much kills his father. Utilizing the sword to like shoot lightning. It's like, all right, and it pretty much takes down a bit of the roof, and it kills his father. And he's like, oh no, the father is like saying before he died that he should have just let him be himself. Let me see. It's like, I'm sorry, and seeing him die in his arms, and then of course he gets captured and depowered, and Duncan's like, yeah, if you need anything, just talk to me about it, but it's more just like perfunctory, like, oh, okay, this is where this is supposed to be. Let's fucking, like, I swear to God, I've never seen a movie go through this is what a movie should do more than this movie, which is like fucking a feat unto itself. Like, whatever. Like, I know that sounds almost insane, but the thing is, if you want a movie to be something and convey something rather than to be a product to be consumed, you don't make it like this. This is just consumption content, He-Man style. It's like, alright. I mean, at least with Michael Bay movies, the explosions are the character. He's like, what can I do to fucking justify a great fucking explosion? I get that. There's at least an artistic intent in that. This doesn't have that. So we see that, like, He-Man tries to use his HR training to rally the troops, which is again presented as, like, stupid as shit. I've never seen a movie that has pretty much tried to shit on the concept of the power of friendship like this, where it's like, no, you do need to work together. So they all kind of work together, taking in He-Man's, Adam's stupid names for him, and they just push over the fucking bar thing. I mean, they knock out the rocks around it, but it's like, all right, fine. Cringer popping up to help out as well. Let's see. So Evelyn's pretty much like, Skeletor attempts to use the power of the sword. It's not working. He's like, what the fuck's wrong with this thing? Where's IT? And then Evelyn's like, maybe if I do this ritual of Grayskull, it'll let you do the shit. Like, warp speed, bitch. And they fucking kind of go there for that kind of thing. So the forces are able to kind of escape and do their old kind of like battle montage for the end. Let's see. Duncan is able to, like, crack the shit out of Trapjaw and blow his ass up. But Roboto's destroyed, but the head's still there. We see Adam and Teela pretty much break into Grayskull. And we have also seen that the Sorceress is in play, trying to help out as well. But she mainly comes in towards the end kind of thing of it. Teela pretty much takes on Evelyn, where they just literally are relegated to the back row, where we just see He-Man and Skeletor, Adam and Skeletor kind of doing their shit. Cringer facing off against Beastman. We see that he attempts to get to the Power Sword and tries to use it against Skeletor, but it gets shattered, and Skeletor stabs him with it, and the Sorceress is like, no, I chose you for your heart, and the sword doesn't mean jack fucking shit. Just use your shit, man. You got this shit. You're the vessel. Do that shit. Let's see. Of course, he's then able to utilize the power and reconstitute the sword and everything like that. And then He-Man is able, in his He-Man form, and does attempt to talk to Skeletor again before being like, of course, this motherfucker isn't going to talk, so let's just crack it out. Now, it's how it's executed and done. You're trying to present the moral at the end of this that you shouldn't just use power and use your strength to dominate others. However, most of this throughout here is showcasing that attempting to even talk to certain people is a complete folly in and of itself. But the thing is, you're also trying to argue against, like, space Nazis and space terrorists. So the thing is, it needs to be a little bit more than that, rather than, like, showcasing, yeah, talking doesn't work at all. It's like, well, of course talking's not going to work when the motherfucker's coming to kill your ass right off the fucking bat. Like, nobody says that in the situation of, like, yeah, that dude's coming and he's shooting shit at you and has, like, a fucking, like, rotating arm of doom, or a giant havoc staff that's trying to, like, blast your ass and actually fucking stabbed you, like, 2 seconds before. So, yeah, like, that is such a straw man kind of thing of, like, no. I mean, if you can come to an agreement where you don't kill the motherfucker, try that, but try and stop him as much as possible. And he had also tried to utilize He-Man's kind of, like, hang-ups against him, but he's like, fuck you, motherfucker, and then literally just, like, cracks his whole ass. The Sorceress is like, I chose you because of your heart and your empathy and how good of a person you were. And then the end point of him is him souped up, roided out, with the power beefcake god, beating the unholy fucking shit out of Skeletor and breaking his staff and blowing his ass to Kingdom Come. And Evelyn sneaks away, so we get 6 months later. Queen Marlena is the now ruling one, and Roboto is, like, refurbished, and everyone's like, hey, Um, we see that there's a disturbance, so Adam and Cringer leap into action, having He-Man and Battle Cat. We get a look that Orko telling the moral of the story while Queen Marlena is talking to Duncan, hoping for the return of both of her children, even though we had not seen any other kid, and bringing up like Princess Adora, She-Ra. I think that's with her sword, and evidently there was another thing, even though I like kind of buzzed through that like evil Lynn returns to Grayskull to retrieve Skeletor's skull. As she leaves, Skeletor's evil laugh is heard. I this was just a slog to get through, and just felt like certain kind of bits were put into this movie for certain kind of crowds and certain kind of audiences, and then other things at other points were put in for even like exact opposite audiences. And I don't understand what their objective was for this. If this was to bring new people into the franchise, I think it's a complete and utter failure on that point, because it mainly is done with at least enough nostalgia baiting for those that have grown up with He-Man to understand who the Masters of the Universe are and why the fuck you should care about this. Most other people would have gotten into this franchise through the memes of He-Man singing, or seen other YouTube videos like Tom Christie aping on He-Man and Skeletor, which is not the same goddamn fucking thing. So utilizing memes to even try and have as a kind of fan servicing kind of moment is counterintuitive to who you're probably trying to target as an audience. This thing is definitely painted to attract, like, try and target everyone as much as possible, which it is actually made for no one. I don't remember seeing any toys or any kind of awesome ass shit that would have even worked with this to even showcase for it to like be for kids to get the toys, or even collectors, adult people to get the toys. And its message is there really is no message. Even though they've got a moral of the story, every action kind of goes against that. So which one is it? Usually within that thing, if someone's saying one thing and its actions prove positive outcomes that are counterproductive to that claim, that positive outcome kind of one is the message that I usually hit on and take. It's like, oh, you just beat the shit out of people, right? Okay, cool. Now, that doesn't mean you don't fight against motherfuckers, but don't say that you chose He-Man for his heart and then just have him whoop whole ass on Skeletor and blow his ass up. That might not have been his objective, but holy fucking shit. It's and then trying to get have it both ways of like stoic man not dealing with shit, and then they're like, yeah, you should probably deal with that shit because I became a drunk because I thought it was easier for Tila to have to deal with a drunk person that she had to save rather than an old failure of a man who wasn't worth it. It's like, can we dig into that? That's some actually fine, fertile thing, but oh no, we'll treat it as a joke and just hide yourself, but just like spin in the background. Like, it's not like he's a good actor who deserves better content to fucking even deal with, but what do I know? Just seen him in some shit. So, I wouldn't watch another movie in this if any kind of other one gets made. I don't know what we've pretty much got a Kang situation here with Leto and what's going on with Skeletor, but to be honest with you, you could just recast that motherfucker. Ain't nobody's business. It's not like he tore up the whole thing. It was just mainly like, oh, this isn't the shitty Jared Leto shit that you're normally used to, or the ones that people would be like morbing out over just to get a mean thing done and be like, I gotta hand it to them to be able to have done that to get Sony to release that fucking thing twice. You seriously thought that they liked that shit? Oh my god, and you'd make any more money off of it? God damn. So that's an easy kind of recast. He-Man wasn't bad. Like, none of the other actors were bad, but I mean, you couldn't say that content without anything, and it's the barest minimum of, like, content. Like, minimum viable product. Boom. Like, okay. So, I wouldn't recommend this to anybody that likes He-Man, Masters of the Universe, any kind of movies, really. It's not, the action's not really that good. Spectacle's just like what it is. CGI and certain kind of costuming's at least decent enough, but I don't know if it's not worth 2 hours and 20 minutes. There's better stuff out there. I'd tell you to go watch Mortal Kombat twice. Yeah, that was just barely under 2 hours, and I'm like, yeah, I'd have more fun watching that twice. Or go watch Project Hail Mary. It's like, yeah, but I want to see like sword and sandals and shit like that. It's like, yeah, go watch the Jason Momoa Conan. Go watch the Schwarzenegger Conan. Go watch the 80s fucking Masters of the Universe. Which, I don't say that lightly. I would recommend any kind of other movie and not even have this on in the background because fuck that noise. It's, even if it noise, there's better noise out there. Now, if you did like this, I'm happy for you. Enjoy it. Ignore my fucking ass. Move on. But no, this wasn't for me. So those are my opinions on the movie. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, if you agree with me, if you disagree with me. Also, like and subscribe, and I hope you have a good day.